Oh, welcome back everybody. It's an exciting day, getting close to Christmas. That's always a fun time. Today we're going to talk about another item we're adding to this prep bag, and one that is important insofar as it's a protection thing for you, for anybody, for what you use. Everything in the bag is going to be important, that's no doubt about that, but this is especially important because it protects your digits. That's right, we talk about gloves. Come back, we'll go over choices.
Wake up to the world you've been missing. Time to jump out of bed in the morning. No day, no life, now we're living. Can you feel it in the air that you're breathing? Time to show 'em what you're made of. Let's get back on track. Are you ready for a come on? Welcome back. Welcome back.
All right, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm fortunate to where I get to make a choice of the type of gloves I want to use. You know, some who are doing something like this on a budget go for the cheaper, $5 pair, and that's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that, so long as you have a pair of gloves. But for me, I kind of need something a little bit more. I have a good solid pair of leather gloves that I already use for yard work, any other work, things of that nature. But I know that I need something that's a little bit better. Not necessarily quality-wise better, just better for me to keep me protected. And I'm fortunate that I have Warrior Salt Systems to fall back on to get the type of gloves that I need. And for me, that are gloves that I need more are the hard knuckled ones. Not because I want to go get in a fight, not because I want to beat a wall, but because no matter what I seem to do, I always seem to cut a knuckle here or there. Never fails. I could be turning a knob and I'll cut my knuckle on the door jamb. It's the most amazing thing in the world. So we have 4 pairs of gloves from Warrior Salt System, and I'm going to tell you which one I'll choose. But let's go over the 4 pairs and let me explain them to you. So there's subtle differences in them, but they're all are the same insofar as their hard knuckles, and that's really what I wanted. I needed something like that to help me protect the top part of my hands when I'm doing something, whether it be fixing a car, whether it be changing a tire, whatever you want to put in there. To protect the knuckle part is vital, because when those suckers start bleeding, no matter what you do, no matter what you put on them, and unless you just rest it, it's just going to be a continuous little bit going of blood coming out, and that's not what you want, especially in a scenario where you're in a survival mode or trying to keep from getting in a survival mode. And so that's vitally important. So let's go over the 4 brands that we have. We have just limited in stock right now. That's really because I really want to get a gauge on the gloves themselves and what we do, but we will get more in stock here start of the year. I'll be putting in another order for more. But let's talk about each one and the 4 types I got. Take it to the table. Okay, let's talk about these. You have the Firestorm Hard Knuckle. Okay, some tan. Firestorm Hard Knuckle in green. Okay, you have the Omega also in green, and then you have the Omega in black. Now they're all similar in the fact that they're hard knuckle, but there are some subtle differences. First of all, in the Omega you've got a little difference here. Okay, also the Omega has more stretch material up here, and the Firestorm, as you can see here, they have leather straps here, really kind of so you can cinch it down a little bit more around your hand area right here is where it really does. While the Omega is just more stretch material here, it only has one Velcro strap. Okay, so those are similar and everything else. Now flip them over. Okay, we'll do the green so you can see them a little bit better. The Omega is a suede inside, whereas the Firestorm is leather. That's a big difference. If you're looking for an all leather glove, you're going to need to go with the Firestone. If you like the more of the suede style and you like the feel of that, then you want to go with the Omega. Also, the thing about the Omega is that it actually has these little ends right here, so you're able to use your electronics with it versus having all leather on the Firestorm. Now you see here is a little bit of suede, a little bit of suede here. So this is more stretch material here on the Firestorm. If we look on the black, it's just going to be exactly like the green, but just black, no difference. Now, when choosing the gloves that you want to choose, there's going to be a couple things you want to look at. Number one is you want to look at your wrist size. If you have a big wrist, then you're going to really need more of the Firestorm, because that Firestorm will give you 2 strips to help better customize how it's going to fit on your hand. Okay, that's going to help you a little bit more than, say, a stretch material will in the Omega. Okay, so it gives you a little bit more. You might not need it tight here, but you want a little bit tighter here, and that's what the Firestorm gives you. Second thing is you want to look at is, are you going to have to use some form of electronics? Okay, well, the Omega helps with that some, whereas the Firestorm does not. Third is if you want more leather, okay, on the interior, or you prefer the suede, and that makes the difference there. Coming to sizes, you need to really think about this knuckle area. That is the area that really makes the difference. You do not want it to be the glove so big that the knuckles sit up here, or the glove so small that you can't even get the strap part over onto your wrist. So you really have to look at the gloves you're using and adapt them a little bit. So these fit a little bit snugger than a regular glove. So for example, in my regular glove, see how this comes all the way up here? Well, in these, it's going to stop here. On top of that, all this protection here for the knuckles, when I bend, it goes over the knuckles, but when I'm flat, it sits up a little bit higher. Plus, I have a little bit of room here in the tips, and there's some play in this area here. Whereas when you get into these gloves, it's more of a tighter, snugger fit. So you're going to have to decide if you wear, say, a large in regular gloves, a large is probably going to be what you need. Okay, again, everything depending on, finger size. Do you have fat fingers? Are they thick? Well, then again, you're almost going to have to go up one size just to fit your fingers. And that's going to be a problem with hard knuckle gloves, is because the knuckles don't move. Whereas you get a glove like this, it moves and it helps, and it kind of contours around you, whereas this doesn't really. So you're going to have to decide exactly what size you want. The last thing about the gloves that you want to remember about these is these are not designed to be winter gloves. These are designed to be more of a work glove, okay? So if you're putting these gloves in your bag and you're going to be in winter, kind of hoping they'll help keep your hands warm while you do stuff, that's not their intended purpose. These are not warm gloves, okay? These are designed to be worn, to work, to utilize, really to kind of get dirty and grummy with and everything else. So when you order them with the work side in mind versus keeping your hands warm. We will get into gloves later that keep your hands warm, but it's always good to have a good solid work pair of gloves in your bag. Even if it's cold out there, as you work, you're going to warm up and your hands are going to warm up some. And having on those heavy gloves that keep your hand warm are nice, but then you're going to get too sweaty, then you have a whole mess of other problems. especially in the winter. So you're going to choose these for work. You're going to decide whether you want a leather palm or whether you want a suede palm. And that's how you're going to choose, and the size based on where your knuckles are. Okay, so remember when you order, okay, you can order down the link below. All I'm going to have are hard knuckles because that's what I need, okay? All Warrior Assault System gloves, so they're awesome to begin with, and they're going to be just right for your work gloves for your prep bag, okay? Make sure you know what size your regular gloves are. You're going to generally choose about the same size, okay? And make sure you know whether or not you want suede sole, palm sole, or whether you want a leather one, okay? Remember, Firestorm is leather, Omega is suede, and it's a personal preference. I don't think there's anything one that's better than the other. Suede will wear a little bit more than leather will, so if you're looking for longevity, then you get leather. But suede, I like the suede a little bit better personally than I do the leather. But again, it's personal choice, right? So, choose the glove you want, get in there. Start getting your bag. Slowly build it up like we're doing here. Get the right equipment for the right job. Warrior Assault Systems gloves are just excellent gloves. I absolutely love them. I'm a big proponent of Warrior Assault Systems. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Okay, I'll be more than happy to answer. If you order and you find out you need a different size glove, the glove you got is too small or too big, shoot me an email. I'll get it back, get you out a new pair. That's the right size for you. No problem at all. Be good. It's almost Christmas time. Be thankful for what you have. Be awesome.